You know, every investor dreams of it, right? Finding that one stock, that multi-bagger, that just multiplies your investment again and again. But how do you actually spot one before everyone else does? Well, it's not about luck. It's about skill, a little patience, and honestly, a bit of good old-fashioned detective work.
So really, how do you sift through the thousands of companies out there to find that one potential gem? Today, we're going to put on our detective hats. We're going to treat stock analysis just like a real investigation. We're gathering clues, examining evidence, and building a case to see if we've stumbled upon a real opportunity here.
All right, let's open up the case file. The subject of our investigation today is a company called Bagger Projects Limited. Our mission is pretty simple. Follow the clues in the data and see if they point towards some serious growth potential. Okay, part 1, the profile. You know every good investigation has to start with a background check, so let's get the basic facts down. And you know what? Our first clue is a big one. Bagger Projects is a power infrastructure company. Okay, but it's their family tree that really makes you look twice. They're part of the Bajaj Group, a huge, respected conglomerate that's been around for almost a century. For any investor, that name alone suggests stability, experience, and good management right from the get-go.
Now, if we look at their recent history, you can see a really clear pattern of smart moves. In 2023, they split off on their own to focus completely on infrastructure. Smart. By 2025, they'd already landed their first big international project. That shows ambition. And now, they're expanding their manufacturing. That tells you they're gearing up for more demand. This is not a company that's just waiting around. They are actively making things happen.
So, what do they actually do? Well, they build the absolute backbone of our power grid. We are talking about the heavy-duty, essential stuff our entire modern world runs on, from those giant transmission towers you see everywhere to incredibly complex electrical substations. Okay, part 2. Let's follow the money. Because a company's real story, the one that can't be faked, is always written in its financial statements. It's time to look for the hard evidence. And boom, the first piece of financial evidence is this massive number, 2,912 crores. Now, 1 crore is 10 million rupees, so yeah, we're talking about a significant amount of money. This is their order book. Think of it as business they have already won, but just haven't completed yet. It's like a crystal ball giving us a pretty clear picture of their future earnings. Next up, let's talk about profit. We're going to look at something called EBITDA, which is basically a great way to measure how profitable their core business is. And the evidence here shows a really healthy 38% growth, year over year. This tells us Bagger isn't just booking future jobs. Their business is getting more profitable as we speak.
And you know what? The story gets even better. It's not just that their profits are growing. The company is actually getting more efficient. Their profit margin is expanding. That means for every dollar or every 100 rupees that comes in, they're keeping more of it as profit. That jump from 3.5% to 4.8%, that's a fantastic sign that they're running a much tighter ship.
And listen, this isn't just some happy accident. The CEO himself calls it a strategic pivot. In other words, this boost in profitability is happening because they made a conscious decision to go after better, more profitable projects. It's a plan, and it looks like it's working.
Part 3, a roadmap to 2030. Look, solid financials are one thing, but a good detective always wants to know the long-term plan. So, what's their blueprint for the future?
Well, turns out, Bagger has a very clear roadmap they call Rasta 2030. They're planning to diversify into related businesses, keep growing overseas, target those super specialized high-value projects, and use tech and AI to get even more efficient. This isn't a company that's just hoping for growth. They have a real 5-point plan to go out and create it.
All right, part 4. What's the market saying? We've seen the evidence inside the company, but now what's the verdict from the ultimate jury, the stock market itself?
So here's the chart. Now look closely. See that sharp jump upward right there in mid-March? That's significant. It really suggests that other investors are starting to notice the same clues we've been uncovering. This trend shows that people are voting with their wallets, and they seem to believe in this company's story. And this is really where the whole case starts to come together. On one side, you have the company's story, the fundamentals, like that strong order book and growing profits. And on the other side, you have the market's reaction, the technicals, like the rising stock price. When you see a strong business story lining up perfectly with positive market momentum, that's when analysts really start to pay attention. So, now we come to the final part. The analyst is you. We've laid out all the evidence from our investigation. We've looked at the company itself and how the market is reacting. So,
It's time to draw a conclusion.
Let's just quickly recap the case file. You've got a company with a top-tier family name. It is a huge pipeline of future work already locked in. It's getting more profitable and more efficient by the day. It has a clear plan for the future, and the market is just starting to catch on. All the evidence is right here on the table.
So we're going to leave you with this final question. We've laid out all the clues: the strong heritage, the growing profits, the clear strategy, and the market's reaction. But which one of those clues do you think tells the biggest story about this company's potential? Because deciding what matters most, well, that's where the real analysis begins.